From the Mike and April studios, this is Plugged In.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome in to the 17th episode of Plugged In with April. Happy Sunday to everybody. I hope you are doing well. We have got a great lineup for you tonight. We are going to run through Vegas history all the way up until 1949 as part one of our contribution and research here for Vegas, all things Vegas, absolutely. Welcome in, Linda and Tracy in Arizona. Welcome in, Pop Pop. I'm glad you are here. Got to watch you go live yesterday evening. That was awesome. Great job. Great job. Hope everybody's having a great Sunday. We are actually having wonderful weather here in Texas, which is great because the last couple of weeks we've had lots of rain and thunderstorms. So I'm excited about the weather. Welcome in, Scott Nightingale, crop duster present and accounted for. That's great, Scott. We were wondering if you're going to be in or not. Thank you for coming in and joining us. Deanna Sanchez, you are in as well. And Sherry is watching us on Facebook. Thank you, Sherry. I appreciate that. We are going to be live on Facebook. And then, as always, you can find our Plugged In with April will be released on Spotify as a podcast later on each week after we wrap up these episodes. So you can find us on Facebook, you can find us on YouTube, and you can also find us on Spotify if you want to listen in on the podcast later on during the week. Sean S. Super Chat. Thank you so much for $4.99. I am here having a great Sunday now that you are live. We are live, Sean S. Thank you for joining us. Hopefully, you're not back on the road today and you're having a great Sunday as well. Valerie Alexander, thank you for coming in. I appreciate it. I just love all the support. I love coming in on Sunday evenings, guys, after we've had a lot of our weekend fun and catching up with everybody here. Got to watch the Slot Lizards last night. That was a lot of fun, and most of you were in there. So I appreciate it. And good evening once again to you guys. Just a great day all around. I am still in the midst of making all of our plans for our Vegas trip. We are officially 40 days away. I am very excited. I'll get more excited when it becomes, 30 and below days. Then we'll really start celebrating. That's for sure. Sean S., you get to stay in Vegas for this week. That's good. That's good, brother. I'm glad that you don't have to travel back to Texas. One of these days, you'll have to pass through Fort Worth and meet up with us here. Let's see. Welcome in, Shelly MacBay. I appreciate you coming in and joining us, guys. I'm really excited. This is going to be a nice history lesson with Vegas, all things Vegas, anyways. We also have our great segment coming up with Mics with Drinks. And so we'll get started with that in just a few moments. I just wanted to take the time to tell everybody thank you. Do appreciate it. Check out our new emojis, guys. We do have emojis there. Well, they'll be available. We have memberships that are now set up, and we'll go over that at the end of our podcast today. And let's see, Crystal Mulligan. I'm Envy in 50 days. I'm so sad to miss everyone. Oh, Crystal, I'm so sorry. We're going to miss you as well. But you know what? You can still go to Vegas and have a great time no matter who you're with, right? I am excited because when we go to Vegas this time around, we are going to meet a lot of people that we have been, you know, kind of talking with and chatting with on all the lives. So that's exciting to meet everybody. Welcome in, James. Thank you for joining us. I do appreciate it. So we're getting excited about our Vegas trip. We have our Sunday live show that we're going to do on the 16th there, July 16th. We're going to be broadcasting from our hotel room. We have a lot of special guests coming in. We're going to have cocktail hour. You guys are not going to want to miss this live because it is going to be epic. It is going to be a lot of fun. I do believe I can go ahead and tell you that Sean S. is going to be there. That'll be exciting. And we have a couple other guest stars that are going to pop in and say hello to you guys. So it'll just be a fun hour to sit around and talk with everybody. that you might not necessarily see on camera. Welcome in, little Dutchie. Happy Sunday to you. Thank you for joining us. I appreciate that. So, let's go ahead. We'll get started with Mike's his nice little hashtag Mike Matters, right? And so we'll get started with his video, which will be the drink of the week, and then we'll come right back here and we're going to pick up with Vegas history. So if you want to take it away, babe, let's see what our drink of the week is.
Hey guys, we're going to take you back in time tonight to old Vegas history. Favorite of the Rat Pack, we are going to make an old fashioned. I'm going to start out with our bitters, the Angostura yellow top. Have to use the yellow top. We've made our own simple syrup out of the Demerara sugar. Gives it a little bit sweeter, darker taste. And we're going with a bourbon made here in Texas. The TX brand is made in Fort Worth, Texas, so we had to go with that. You're going to start out with your syrup. We're going to do a little bit under a teaspoon. And we're going to do 3 dashes of our bitters. Two ounces, oh I love that sound, of our bourbon. And we're going to stir it up, kind of mix it up. We're going to add our ice cube. You want to go with a bigger ice cube because this is a sipping drink. You don't want it to get watered down. You want it to stay cool. And we're going to kind of stir that up and get it cold. You're going to want to sip this. And the longer it sits in here, the better it's going to get. Okay. We're going to finish it off with a peel of an orange. You're just going to want to just kind of trim along that. Just kind of squeeze and get some of that oil out. Get it in there. Rub your edge of your glass. Stick it in there for your garnish. And it's that simple. You now have an old fashioned. Enjoy. Thanks guys. We'll see you next week.
Welcome back, everybody. As you can tell, we do have the old fashioned here. So let's do the old taste test. Very strong as always. Mike likes to over pour a little bit, but let me tell you guys, this is delicious. I am going to give you upfront disclosure on the old fashioned. It is not something meant to be drank continuously. It's something you should sip on. And according to Mike, it actually gets better over time because as the big ice starts to melt, it kind of it chills it, and I don't want to say dilutes it, but it definitely tastes better over time once you get through it. Little Dutchie, I like the piano music in the background. Sounds like a speakeasy. Welcome in, Ivy Slots. Yes, old fashions are really good. I love them. I'm hoping that when we are in Vegas, I'm able to find a speakeasy that has a great old fashioned and I can sit down and enjoy a cigar. Vitamin C. Yeah, that's what's in here, guys, is some good old vitamin C. Yummy, yummy. All right. So good. So good. And I will tell you guys, if you're not familiar, we do have a great distillery here locally. It is Texas whiskey and bourbon. and they do a phenomenal job here creating those. And we are actually going to take a field trip very soon for you guys, and we are going to film on location and show you the distillery. It is just outside of downtown Fort Worth, and it is absolutely gorgeous and beautiful. So we are going to go and shoot a video there for you guys and kind of show you what that's all about. And that's the bourbon whiskey that he actually used in today's video for the drink for today. We just kind of felt like the old fashioned fit in perfect based on going over the Vegas history. We're going to start out going how Las Vegas started, and then we'll go all the way through until 1949. And this will be part one of 3 series. So it's very exciting. Deanna Sanchez, I always have at least one old fashioned when we are in Vegas. I have not had an old fashioned while we were in Vegas, Deanna, but I have seen the Vanderpump, I believe it is. Welcome in, Big Slaughter. Thank you. Has that smoked old fashioned, which I'm sure we can get in a lot of different locations. So I'm very excited and I want to try that, and I want to. Um, Yesterday, we stopped at one of our local liquor stores here, and they actually had a ton of cigars in the humidor, and it was awesome. So we're going to have to go back in and check it out. I was kind of doing some eye shopping for our Vegas trip. Thank you so much, Sean S., for the $1.99 super chat. I will find a good cigar bar for you, April. Wonderful, Sean S. I appreciate that. So, guys, in our upcoming trip, very quickly before we get to Vegas history, Sean S. is going to be with us. He's going to take us to some local restaurants, and he is going to be kind of our impromptu tour guide. So get ready, because Sean S. and Kim as well has a lot of different places that we should try out that the locals go to. So I am super excited. While we will be staying on the strip for this trip, we're not there. We're not on the strip the entire time, which you guys know. We've talked about that already. But I'm excited to be kind of off the strip and give you a taste and a feel for what all Vegas has to offer, because as we know, there's more to it than Fremont Street and the strip itself as well. So that is kind of what's going to be our focus when we come in for our long stay in Vegas. And I hope we don't get over Vegas by the 5th or 6th night, because it's a lot to do. But we are going to take care of it, and we're going to get it done for you, and hopefully bring back lots of great content to share with you guys. So be sure you hit your notification bell so that you'll know when we go live when we are in Vegas. Because if you know from their past, it's very impromptu. We'll just be walking around, and all of a sudden we'll pop up and go live if it's something we want to share with you right then and there. All right. So let's get into this Vegas history, guys. It's very interesting. I really enjoyed doing this. Welcome in, Gambling Granted. Thank you so much for joining us. I do appreciate it. Happy Sunday to you and Dice. All right, so let's get started with the Vegas history. Again, I'm going to take you through till 1949, and then at the end of the show, we'll talk about a few other little things, and I'll read through the chats, and you guys have any questions or any comments, just let me know then. So I do apologize if I don't acknowledge your chats as we're going through this, but we will it towards the end of the show. All right, so we're going to get started. 1829, a scout by the name of Rafael Riviera was the first European to discover the desert oasis. So he now names the valley Las Vegas, which means the meadows, to acknowledge all the wild grass and the nutrient-rich soil that is there with ample supply of water. Now, in 1844, John Fremont goes camping in Las Vegas, and he does a journal and he publishes this, and now it is a known place for Las Vegas. In 1864, Nevada is admitted as the 36th state into the union. Okay, so that's kind of how we get Vegas on the map. 1900s. Let's go through the 1900s through 1909. All right. In 1902, the U.S. Senator Williams Andrews Clark looks to connect the Transcontinental Railroad through Las Vegas. And in 1905, he then auctions off 600 plots of land, establishing Las Vegas as its own town. Great stuff. 1905, the first United Methodist Church of Las Vegas is then formed. And in 1906, guys, the Golden Gate Hotel and Casino opens as the Hotel Nevada in downtown Las Vegas and remains open today. That's incredible. In 1907, the first telephone wires are installed on Fremont Street. And then in 1909, Clark County is created. In 1909, also, Nevada bans gambling. But then in March of 1911, the city of Las Vegas is incorporated. Voters in an unincorporated Las Vegas go to the polls and they vote on the issue of incorporation. The results are not unanimous, but the results are in, and 168 are in favor of the incorporation, while 57 opposed. 1911, the laws liberalized to allow for quickie divorces after 6 weeks of being in residency. We'll go over that in a little while. In 1919, prohibition is ratified, and in full force, all consumption, manufacturing, and distribution of liquor is banned. So now we're going to get into 1920s. In 1920, the population is now 2,304. The 1922, the Colorado River Compact is signed by 7 Western states to divide the water equally. In 1925, Fremont Street is now paved. This is awesome, guys. So there we got the beginning of Fremont Street. In April of 1926, Western Airlines provides the first commercial flight at Rockwell Field. Look at that. That's awesome. 1928, the Boulder Canyon Project Act is approved, and this is authorizing construction of a dam on the Colorado River. In 1928, El Portal Theater opens up on Fremont Street. And then in 1929, guys, Las Vegas High School opens up. So we've gotten a city now, and we are getting moving. 1930s, now our population is 5,165. 1930, we also have the Union Pacific Railroad, which is going to connect Las Vegas to Boulder City. And then 1931, at the end of 1931, construction is now beginning on the Boulder Dam. A couple of interesting facts on the Boulder Dam. It is built and will bring many workers and visitors to save Vegas from the Great Depression. Many will flock there to work on the dam. However, there is not enough jobs or space, and so pop-up shacks and tents are going to become part of the city. Very sad. At this time, crime is so high that the one jail cell that the city has cannot actually hold all of the criminals. So they actually take the criminals to the California state line and drop them off in the desert. That is so interesting to me. Also, the original name was Boulder Dam, and then was renamed after President Herbert Hoover due to his major involvement within the construction process. 1931, they created Boulder City, which is very interesting to me because I did not know this. So Boulder City is now created, and this is going to house all the workers on the dam. It is going to be a quiet and reserved community. There will be one way in and one way out, and have federals there manning the gates at all times. Now, during this time, remember, alcohol is not allowed, right? So we have prohibition. And so you're going to begin to see a lot of speakeasies that are going to pop up on the route to Boulder City. In 1931, the Nevada legislature relaxes marriages and divorces and repeals its gambling ban. Blood tests are no longer a thing in order to get married. In 1931, gambling is going to get legalized in Las Vegas, and it is now advertised as the playground of the United States, and is now the only union where it is legalized. The Meadows Resort is going to be built, and it is the first resort to offer legal gambling, hotel amenities, and then 4 months later, sadly, it's going to burn to the ground because it is outside the city limits, and the fire department for the Las Vegas city does not respond to the fire. 1931, gambling is going to be legalized, and it is advertised as a playground of the United States. 1932, Patrick McCarran is elected as the U.S. Senate. 1933, prohibition is repealed. 1934, Eldorado Days have begun, guys. So Eldorado Days is going to portray the city's Old West theme. They are now going to need tourism to help survive the Depression and the completion of the dam. Vegas is now going to promote this as the Wild West, as the rest of the nation is moving away from the Wild West themes. Vegas is going to coin this as their new frontier and have Eldorado days. 1935, Franklin Roosevelt dedicates the Boulder Dam. And in 1938, California authorities cracked down on illegal gambling, causing many to migrate to Las Vegas. 1938, Guy McAfee opens up the 91 Club, which is formerly known as the Pair O' Dice Club. Love that name. 1939, Rhea Langham divorces husband Clark Gable, which is helping Las Vegas earn the title of divorce capital of the world. So if you came to Vegas and you wanted to get a divorce, you would just declare yourself as settling in Vegas. And then after 6 weeks, you could go and you could file in front of the judge for a divorce and it would be granted. Now, they did start to glamorize this as the divorce capital of the world. But then all of a sudden, they released the blood tests being required, right? And now all of a sudden, we have new chapels that are going to begin to emerge for weddings because you can now go to Vegas and without blood tests, you can get married. So all of a sudden, you're going to start seeing all these different hotel offers, which are going to include airline tickets and hotel packages, and they will go as far as to arrange your marriage. And the Graceland Chapel is now part of the Las Vegas city. All right, 1939, the mafia becomes prominent in Vegas and enters the legalized gambling world. They begin to dominate these bars on Fremont Street and begin to turn them into gambling halls. Now we're going to get into 1940s, guys, and this is going to be very interesting as we lead up into the 1950s, which is going to be part 2. But 1940s, now the population is 8,422 people. 1941, the U.S. Army is going to create a gunnery school, which is going to be known as the Nellis Air Force Base. And then in 1941, Thomas Hall, which is a hotel owner out of California, is going to open up the El Rancho in Vegas. So this is going to be our first resort on Highway 91, which is going to be the inception of what we now know as the Strip. So El Rancho was the first one there. Let's see, it was located today. Oh, the location of the El Rancho, I apologize, is located across the street from today, the Sahara, and is currently owned by Phil Ruffin, who picked up the property from MGM Resorts when he bought Circus in 2019. Then we have a crowd favorite here. In 1941, the El Cortez opens up in downtown. The grand opening is great success, and it's the major resort in the downtown Las Vegas area. It is held on November 7th of 1941, and it'll later be sold in 1945 to mob accountants Meyer, Lansky, and Bugsy Siegel. On October of 1942, the Last Frontier will open, which will become the New Frontier Hotel and is later demolished in 2007. 1946, guys, yes, the Golden Nugget opens downtown and it continues to remain open today. Look at the difference in that. That's awesome. 1946, after great tastes of money and success from the El Cortez, Bugsy Siegel opens the Flamingo Hotel. He is later killed in June of 1947 in a Beverly Hills home, and it is rumored that the mob has buried Siegel's car under the ground at the Flamingo while it was under construction. I would love to know where that is and if it's a true rumor or not. It's quite interesting. All right, so now let's get into the end of 1946, and Benny Binion arrives on the scene. So Benny Binion is a Texas illegal moonshiner. He gets in trouble with organized illegal gambling in the Dallas-Fort Worth area and puts $1 million into the trunk of his car and drives to Vegas. It is noted that prior to him coming to Vegas, he has involved in 2 murders. However, it is later dismissed on the grounds of self-defense. After 5 years of being in Vegas, he does open up a casino, which is going to be inside the Apache Hotel in downtown called the Horseshoe. However, he will be arrested for tax evasion in 1953, and his friend Joe W. Brown will buy him out of the casino while he is in jail and take care of the operation. 1946, Nevada levies the first gaming taxes. And then in 1948, the Alamo Airport becomes McCarran Field, which is now known as the Harry Reid International Airport. Now, doing all this research, guys, what I want to tell you is, because that is the fun bringing you up into the 1950s, which we'll go over in part 2. But very fun, interesting facts here. The slot machine was actually originally, when it was built, they had wooden trays at the bottom to catch your coins, right? And so over time, in order to allure people and to make people think that they were winning, they replaced these wooden trays with the metal trays. And therefore, all the sound of the dropping of the coins would allure people in and want them to play more. So it's kind of like what we have today of the wheels, and all the whistles and the bells going off. And I think that's exciting. I would love to find one of these old slot machines and have them here in my office, because I think it's absolutely gorgeous. I love the nostalgic of Vegas. We all know that. So I would love to be able to get one of those under my belt here. Um, uh, Although, I guess if I had one, then I maybe would never have to leave and you guys wouldn't get any live slot play from us in the casino. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But anyways, I thought that was super interesting that they started out wooden and then they went to metal, because even back then, right, they were doing things that they could do to lure people to come in and play more. So why not switch out the wooden tray with the metal tray, and then you would be good to go. Very interesting. Now, I will excuse me. So Nevada is the seventh largest state in the United States. I did not know that, but it is the seventh largest state. And the hottest place on earth is actually Death Valley, which is very interesting to me. But it is also known as the driest state in the United States. And then the other thing that I think is really cool, and I don't know any of the times that we have actually driven through, but they have the highest wild horse population in the US. And I'm really hoping when you know what, now that I think about it, I think we did run into wild horses inside the Grand Canyon National Park 2 years ago. But I'm hoping that we can run into some more, because I think that's absolutely gorgeous. I would love to be able to see some wild horses and whatnot. But all right, guys, I know that was quick and I appreciate your time. But as we aim to bring you Vegas information, what's going on locally, and those types of things. And I really wanted to do a deep dive in how Vegas it got started, the roots of it all. The next part of it gets very interesting, because we're going to go into more detail about the mobs and how they come into the scene, how quickly they are ushered out of the scene, how all of that takes place. I'd like to go into depth a little bit more about some of the key players and the mobsters that actually came into Vegas and made Vegas what it is today. Um, this has truly been an exciting time for me to read and to do this research and go over with you on all of it. It's just interesting to me, and I love looking into things like this. So what kind of questions did you guys have, or any comments? Did you guys enjoy this part of the Vegas history here? Because I know I really do enjoy it, because we go to Vegas so often, and I kind of want to know how it has become where it is to know. So slot jumpers, that would be interesting to know. Absolutely. I'm enjoying it. I'm loving doing all the research. I cannot wait to give you all the information that we find out about the mobsters and the roles that they played in molding Vegas into what it is today. Segregation and Moulin Rouge in the 1950s. That's right. Absolutely. So I won't get into much detail about the Moulin Rouge, but that is very interesting story that happened there. I don't want to spoil it for anybody. But 1950s gets quite interesting in Vegas. I mean, it gets interesting all over, right? All over the US. We go through a lot um, there during this time frame. And so we've got the wars, you've got segregation going on, and there's just so much. And I didn't really realize how much politics, how much, which I'm sure it's still today, and how much the mob scene actually formed and molded Las Vegas. Just interesting altogether. Sean S. Nevada also has the largest single county in the entire United States. I'll have to look into that. Do you happen to know what it is? Let's see. Mike and April Unplugged gifted 5 Mike and April Unplugged memberships. Look at you go, babe. That's awesome. Yes, guys, we do have our memberships are now out there. We've been asked a couple of times when we were going to release our different membership levels. So we do have 3 different levels you can choose from if you'd like to support us on a monthly basis. This is going to give you different accesses to emojis, obviously different levels, some private slot plays and access to videos first when we do release them, depending on what level you do choose. So feel free to go out there. I hope whoever received those, you guys can drop your emojis in because Mike has a few created there this evening for everybody. It's an exciting time on our channel here. We are 2 months, May, June, July. So we are 3 months away from hitting our first anniversary of our YouTube channel. It has been so much fun. You know, we knew we wanted to start a YouTube channel. We just weren't sure what direction we were going to go into. You know, we were going to Vegas so often. My dad was asking us to film for him because he knew he wasn't going to be returning to Vegas. And it just seemed appropriate to have this channel as part of Vegas. As you know, we do have other things that we like to do. We just haven't posted all of our videos out there yet. We are just, I cannot tell you how much we appreciate all the support and just everybody, because you guys are watching our videos. Our watch hours got up there very quickly. We really and truly appreciate that. So subscribers are falling into place, and it's just an awesome time. Fiona McKinnon has just become a member. Awesome. Yeah, guys, this is fun, and welcome in, Fiona. I'm glad you are here and watching us. I'm sure it is in the wee early hours of the morning. So let me know how Monday's going to go over there, because, you know, we haven't quite hit Monday here. Very nice of Mike to do that. Welcome in, Rocket. Thank you for joining us. How have you been? It's been a while since we have seen you. I think we saw you yesterday evening in one of the lives, and it was great to see you. James, it's like a health food drink. The old fashions. Guys, I really like the old fashioned. It's really good. And actually, you know, as the time has gone over and we have reviewed the Vegas history, it's actually gotten better over time. Welcome in, Pop Pop. It looks like you also received a sponsored membership. That is awesome, guys. You did buy one. That is awesome. I appreciate it, guys. This is great. I just, again, I appreciate all the love and support. Be sure you hit those emojis and test them out. I still haven't seen exactly what they are. So it'll be interesting to see which ones he chose to go with. But so we had a big announcement from MGM. We know that they announced that we could begin. You could now sit at a table game and you could play, and then you were allowed to have your phone out, and you could take pictures of what was going on. And then yesterday they released another statement stating that you can now are allowed to film in Vegas, or at the MGM properties in Vegas. You are now allowed to film again. There are some kind of they left out some really broad statements when they put this out there, probably to protect themselves. But basically, you can now stream live while you are playing slots, and you just, as usual, right? You can't film any other patrons that are in Vegas that are playing on the slot machines. They ask that you don't use a tripod. However, you can use a stick and you can hold it, but the tripod cannot be on the floor. So they've kind of put a little bit of stipulations on there, probably to cover themselves a little bit. But it looks like they're going to be film friendly once again. And I think this is always great. Not that we've ever had any problems with Caesars on being able to film at their properties. They've never once asked us not to. But now I'm sure other of these corporations are going to follow suit. This is great news, slot jumpers. I love it. Not sure what this is going to mean for the Cosmo, right? Because they are part of MGM, but they also are their own identity still. So it'll be interesting to see. I don't really want to go into the Cosmo and film there. For us, I think we were trying to do something one time. I don't know if it was the Speakeasy Pizza place or what, but we didn't have good reception. Or I think it's when we walk through, when we're doing our, walking through the strip at night for you guys. Walking through there, we always buffer. Kissy Cat, casinos finally get it, free advertisement, duh. I have never understood that, Kissy Cat, because it is free advertisement, right? People are going to be watching, and they're gonna wanna see what the casino's about. It is free advertisement, and if you watch YouTube, if you watch any of, our videos when we are live, if you watch any of our friends, our slot community, we respect the rules, right? And we know when we are getting up, walking around, that we don't show the faces of the patrons that are sitting there and filming, right? So that's why, we always make a joke. We're dizzy right now because all we see is the carpet. But we want to go in, we want to film, we want to go live, we want to be able to stream. And so we are going to abide by these rules. So it's just amazing to me to see that MGM is going to has effective tomorrow. It's going to allow filming, and I think it's great that they're going one step further and saying you can have your phone out when you're playing table games. But hopefully someone doesn't come along and take advantage of this and then they take it away. But I have never known anybody other than when you have a private lesson. When you are actually allowed to film at the tables. I have seen Gambling Granny do it. I have seen LoveStruck Gambling do this as well. When they're doing instructional videos, the casinos will allow them to film. So this to me is new because being able to film at the actual tables is not something that I'm used to doing. Granted, I don't play the tables. I need to learn how, but I like it. I think it's a step in the right direction for sure. Pop up in any slots. Watching other people play and film, in my opinion, helps us kind of know what slots are available. I think it does as well. And I'll tell you, to be honest with you, there are a lot of machines that when I start watching the different channels and the different machines that they're playing, I kind of learn how they work and how to play them, right? Because I know, and for me, it's not as big of a thing that it is for Mike, but he wants to sit down, and if he's putting money into a machine, he wants to know how it plays. He wants to know how to get the bonus. He doesn't want any kind of guessing and waiting and trying to figure it out. And so for me, all the different YouTube channels, that's kind of what they do, right? They bring us awareness on how the games play. I mean, we've had several Oklahoma YouTube channels go over the red screens, right? Because there's a great interest in that for those that don't get to experience. And so it's fun to be able to sit down and explain how red screens work, which, Pop Up and Ninny Slots are really good at showing that. Kizzy Cat says they might get nervous when people keep losing on film. That could be the case, right? I mean, we know, right? It's all the luck of the draw. It all just depends on where you're sitting at the right machine at the right time. But I want to test the theory out. I want Michael to go up and play when we are in Vegas and sit down and play blackjack or something and see if they allow him to film. I wouldn't test it live on stream, but I'd like to just see if he gets to sit down and hold his camera and film the play. It'll be I just wanna see how that turns out and works for everybody. Because I have seen Pomsey go and he wears his sunglasses or the glasses that have the cameras built into them, right? And he'll go to the table games. He did get in trouble for that as well. But, we won't have to hide this, and we won't have to, worry about these types of things because we would love to go live more frequently for you guys and at WinStar World Casino. And we all know, even though I have permission to film there, they still didn't allow us to do that. So it's just one of those things. I'm hoping that other casinos follow through. Gambling Granny says at El Cortez, you have to have special approval for table games and make reservations for them. I love that idea. I absolutely love it. And you know what? I would love it if I could do that and they could teach me at the same time how to play. I think that would be interesting. Little Dutchie says live streams show the reality of gambling, and I like that. I do too, Little Dutchie, right? I like being able to watch it live stream because welcome in, Kimzilla. Happy Sunday to you. Um, I like the fact that when you're live streaming, right, you're going to see the wins as well as the losses, where most slot channels will put out a video, right? A follow-up video, just post one video or a compilation of a couple of videos of when they're winning. Maybe they're only filming their bonuses or what. Uh, for me, and I know Mike as well, we like to watch the slot channels when they're live because as you know, you can see in real time. You can win it just as fast as you can lose your money. And I like being able to see the different amounts of betting and how all of that works out. I prefer that. I would like to see it. Let's see. Pop Pop. Oh, I saw something from Pop Pop, but it disappeared. I apologize, Pop Pop. Here we go. We love it. And when non-red screen channels join our lives, I love explaining it. It's a bingo pattern payoff of the VGT games. You do a great job, Pop Pop, right? I've been playing red screens for a very long time and I really didn't understand them. I knew that they worked and they had to line up, but you've done a great job in helping me and educate me on how that works. Um, because again, I see the bingo card. You can see it up there on most machines, and I didn't really understand how the payouts work. So you have done a great job. You guys should go check out some of his videos if you're not familiar with what the red screens are in Oklahoma. But they are fun. They are loud, though. People get annoyed by them very, very quickly, right? It's just, I don't know. It's a lot of bells. It's a lot of loud whistling all the time. They strategically have them placed throughout the casinos. They're not in a dedicated area. So pretty much if you are live streaming in any of the Oklahoma casinos, you're going to hear these bells and whistles going off. It's just, I know. I apologize. I said the word hell on on YouTube. That's funny, but it's the bells and the whistles, right? That's what gets you, and they do that everywhere, and they spread it out throughout the casino. So there's just really no way of getting around it. And people do complain when we are live that it's super loud, but it's the nature of the beast when you're going to be gambling in the casinos there in Oklahoma. Guys, this is really good, really, really good. I will tell you also, Mike, yesterday we went in preparation of going to Vegas in July. We did go to the liquor store yesterday because, as you know, we talked about the beginning of the stream. We are going to be doing cocktail hour in our hotel room. We have some guests coming in, which we're going to do our live show while we're doing all of this and have cocktail hour and talk to them. But we went to the liquor store yesterday, and you would have thought we were at Toys R Us for Michael. He was walking around and he got wonderful things, right? And then we came home and we made a few of them last night while we were watching SL Slots play live. And it was really, let me tell you, he is quite the bartender, ladies. He is quite the bartender. He may, if he ends up ever having to retire, maybe he'll come out of retirement as a bartender because he's got some mad skills. That is for sure. Welcome in, Rob. I'm sorry I did not see you in there earlier. I'm Miss Winstar, Mike in the red jacket. Yes. So you missed it, Rob, because we did talk about had talked on one of our shows about superstitions, and we did talk about your jacket and the superstition with that came along with forgetting it and then losing that night. Sister Yoshi, I need to try Mike's drinks. They are to die for. Last night he made the caramel salted martini. Um, and he was practicing because Kim wants one of those when we come to Vegas. Let me tell you, I'm the big fan, number one fan of the Hershey's Martini. I think he might have persuaded me to actually the caramel. It is to die for. I mean, it was so good once he had it garnished and everything. Guys, it is delicious. So we're going to have that as one of our drinks highlights very, very soon. Kimzilla. Kim knows her yummy drinks. Kim, I'm telling you, this was absolutely delicious. So I'm excited when we get to Vegas. We'll have a cocktail hour and there in our room, we're going to have some special guests. It's just going to be a lot of fun. I cannot wait to go live. We are going to be on the strip. We're going to be off the strip. We're going to do the local restaurants. Maybe a chocolate caramel martini. Yeah. Oh, we could double dip. That's a great idea. A little Dutchie. I like it. I like it. Babe, we need to try one of those as well. So add that to your list of things to do. That is greatness. Greatness. All right, guys. So, do you guys have any questions for me? I know that was a lot of Vegas history. Did you like it? And did you like it? Is this all new to you, or some of it was at least new to you? It'd be a Rolo martini. That actually, I think he used the Rolo. No, maybe you didn't use the Rolo chocolate. You did. Okay. He did use the Rolo on top of when he garnished it out for his video. It was so delicious, let me tell you. But I'm curious to know, guys, did you like the segment? Are you interested in the actual Vegas history that we're putting together for you? Pop Pop says Ninny does a certain ritual when she walks in the casino, and she does it the same way every time. So she has a special walk when she walks in. Is that what you're saying, Pop Pop? Is it like a dance? Is it like she's swaying? She's all confident. Fiona says it was very interesting, April. Thank you, Fiona. I appreciate that. I just like to know. I want to give you things that you're going to be interested in on our show. When in Vegas, right? Slot jumpers? Absolutely. Absolutely. So it's a fun thing to do. I really started diving deeper into it. The $1 million wall is coming back to Binion, which is kind of what started me down this path, and we're going to go over that next week, of why the $1 million wall, how it came about, and the story behind this is magnificent, and I cannot wait to share that with you. Sean S says, "Loved it, April. It's interesting is the history." Rocket says you did an amazing job on presenting Vegas history. April, thank you very much. I appreciate that, guys. I just want you guys to be honest and let me know, because we are going to do a 3-part series on this. Part 2 is going to be very, very interesting. You are not going to want to miss it. We're going to talk about the mob history, which I've always found interesting, but after doing more research, wow. I mean, this is just the icing on the cake, some of the stuff that we found out. Kissy Cat says, I watch lots of Vegas history on YouTube. More info, it's always good. Well, I mean, if we're going to invest in a city, right? We are playing, we are spending so much time there. Why not get the history and knowledge on this greatness city? Like, it makes perfect sense. Who will be our first guest for cocktails? All right, Fiona, I will tell you right now. We have Kim Zilla is going to be there. We also have Sean S joining us. We have Jay from the Slot Lizards, SL Slots. He's going to join us as well. There may be a couple of others, so we will keep that under wraps until I have confirmation. But it is going to be a lot of fun. Little Dutchie, as long as there isn't a test afterwards, then I love them. Yeah, Little Dutchie, I would definitely not give you a test, especially if we're all making old fashions, right? We might all flunk the test. It was a lot of facts that I didn't want to mess up. So, that's why I continued to. I know I didn't get to interact with you guys. I wanted to stay on track and be able to go through the history of it there. But yeah, so our cocktail hour will have definitely the Sean S, and then we'll have Kim Zilla, and Jay will be there. Mike will be filming us, of course, but maybe we'll put him on camera as well. It's going to be fun, and then we will do our next live that following Sunday will be as we are driving home. Which was going to be a lot of fun, because we'll kind of give you a recap of everything we did in Vegas, so that if you missed us going live, you'll still be in the loop. And then, of course, we're going to be vlogging for you, so you can watch and follow up on those videos once we get home and get those posted up here. It's we really try to go, and we do a lot of room reviews. Kissy Cat, the local Vegas channels did good documentaries on YouTube. Yes, they do. I loved watching some of the shows. Las Vegas Review Journal, the Las Vegas Journal, that was a really interesting story in itself, and they've done a great job as well. They've been a part of Vegas since inception, so it's just been a lot of fun. See, Barbara playing slots. Thank you, Mike and April. I enjoyed hearing about the history of Vegas. You did a really good job, April, sharing. Thank you, guys. I do appreciate that. It's fun, and I enjoy it. I want you guys to have some history, right? We want to have a nice podcast for you, something interesting that you guys would want to come back and watch. So hopefully part 2 will be just as good. I promise you, it's going to be probably the best out of the 3 series. So good, so good, so good. All right, guys. So let's think about if we have anything coming up. So we have our live next Sunday. We are not doing a whole lot of going into the casinos and doing live play for you, because we are saving our money for Vegas. Cannon says, love the history aspect. Thank you and welcome in. Thank you, Cannon. Cannon is our daughter. She's our oldest daughter. Sister Yoshi, thank you, Mike and April. This has been great. I appreciate that, Sister Yoshi, so much. But so we won't be going live for you guys very much between now and when we go to Vegas. It does look like possibly the third week of June. We may be making our way up to the casino. Once we have some of that uh, pinpointed down, I will let you know and when we're going to be going live. But as we talked about, you guys have not seen this video, Choctaw Casino in Durant. I was telling you guys we've done a review. We've been up there a couple of times. And in one of those videos, I was telling you how it is very family oriented. And my sister, she loves to do a mini staycation and take her children to Choctaw and Durant because there's just so much to do for them. And my niece actually requested to have her birthday party at Choctaw to Durant. And so we're just kind of waiting for the dates on that so that we can book our hotel room, book some live slot play for you, and then spend time with May for her birthday. It's just going to be a fun time. But once we have all of that lined up and ready to go, we'll post out videos. We'll let you know when we're going to be doing that. It's going to be fun. I love going to Choctaw. It's my absolute favorite closest home place to play. If we could just bulldoze Choctaw and just pick it up and bring it over here and where it's closer to our home, that would be great. Cause then, we would probably go live for you once a week. It's pretty profitable for us every time we play at Choctaw. It's not like we lose our money with, super fast or anything. Kissy Cat, did anyone see Derek Stevens talking about the gambling odds changing, making it harder? Makes me a bit nervous to play. Kissy Cat, I haven't heard about that, but you know what? I can do some research for you and I can get back to you guys. Maybe that can be our discussion next week on our next Plugged In with April. Sorry, guys. Sorry about that. But all right. Does anybody had any other comments that they wanted to discuss before we go for the week? Because we are going to rock and roll this week. I am excited. The weather's going to be great here and we are going to have a great time. Let's see. We like Choctaw. Yes, slot jumpers. It's our favorite place to gamble other than Vegas. The payouts there are great. Getting rooms for me and Mike is fairly easy, except for during the summertime, it's a little bit harder because their pools are open, so more people are coming in. It is a resort, destination. So during the summertime, it's a little bit harder to get free hotel rooms over the weekend. I understand that. I know that that's the nature of business itself. You're very welcome, Fiona. I'm so thankful that you stayed up and came in to watch this. Pop Up and Ninny Slots, Choctaw Casino in Durant is great. Even my kids love it. Yep. I mean, my sister, I'm telling you, she takes her children up there all the time. They have, you have to go watch that video. It's phenomenal. They have the bowling alley, they have an arcade, they have theater. During the summertime, they have a beautiful aqua pool. It's just absolutely beautiful and lots of fun there. I cannot wait until they open back up the Oasis. I will describe the Oasis to you as being in Mexico on a resort. It's just absolutely beautiful. Barbara playing slots, you need to make some time, carve out some time, and go to Choctaw and Durant. It is absolutely gorgeous. And when you get that on your calendar, let us know, and we can definitely meet up with you in Choctaw if we are around and not traveling at that point in time. Other thing we have coming up, I will just let you know. It looks like Mike is planning a trip to the Boston area, probably Connecticut, something in that area. So hopefully we'll be able to do that this fall. We're going to jump on a plane and we are going to go and try some different restaurants for you guys in the Boston, Connecticut, and all the way up there. So that'll be a nice weekend trip that we will do this fall. I am looking forward to it. It's been a long time since I've been on the East Coast. And I think fall is beautiful that time of year on the East Coast. So I'm excited about doing that. Taking me back to his roots. It'll be kind of fun to see. I'm heading to Boston in September. We should organize. All right, Kim, we should definitely organize. Look at that. Once again, Kim, maybe our plans will not overlap and we can go at the same time. I think it'll be a great time. Windstar and Choctaw are closest to us, still a 4-hour drive, but we enjoy both. Yeah, one is Windstar is about 45 minutes to an hour for us, And then Choctaw is about an hour and 45-minute drive for us. Um, I'm okay with playing at WinStar. It'll always be one of my favorites. It was my dad's favorite place to go here locally. So I definitely will always have a place for WinStar. They just kind of upset me when we had permission to film there. And of course, then, they asked us to stop recording. Um, I'll never I don't say I'll never understand it, but it's just hard for me to want to go back and go live and give them the amount of money that we would on a live stream. Um, we did go up there recently. We had a non-filming date night, and it was fun. And it wasn't as profitable as I was hoping for, but we did have fun. Barbara says, sounds like fun. Love to see new places to visit other than the casinos. Can't wait for those live streams. Yeah, Barbara, that's exactly it, right? We want to expand our channel. It's really going to be about traveling. And so he's got some great ideas. Going up the Pacific Coast Highway is another one. I think that will be fun. And as I'm doing more and more research, I really want to spend a lot of time in Utah. The national parks in Utah, guys, are beautiful. Holy crap. I I knew my parents. I met up with them, I want to say in 2013. I think it was 2013. I met my parents up in Vegas, and after they left Vegas, I flew home, but they left Vegas and spent a good week, 7 to 10 days in Utah, visiting all the different national parks and things. And now that I've done a little bit research for our this upcoming road trip that we are doing this summer, I really think we need to carve out some time and go into Utah and look at these national parks because they look absolutely astonishing and beautiful. Stay in St. George, Utah. I love it there. 3 national parks around it. That's what I'm talking about, Kim, right? I love national parks. I love history. That's just who I am. And just seeing some of these places, trying to plan out our summer trip. I kind of wished we had more time off so that we could spend a lot of time in Utah. But like Mike pointed out, it's probably one of those trips where we want to just go from here straight to Utah, spend our entire time there, and then come straight back. So definitely in the books and something to do. Just got to figure out what time of year to go. I'm thinking springtime. He's thinking fall. I think either one would be beautiful, but fall may be even more beautiful weather wise. Is it? I don't know. Yeah, I'm thinking the fall would probably be the best time of year to go and see that. No parks, gotta gamble, laugh out loud. Dang Texas. Kissy cat, you're funny. You are funny. So guys, how is the Stanley Cups going? Have you guys been watching that? I have not even checked to see if they started because it seems like the first game is already gone, but I could be wrong. Has anybody seen that? Kissy cat, you're usually my sports fan. Curious to know how that's going. I think it's awesome that the Golden Knights are in the playoffs. I have seen so many people post on Facebook that they were already planning to be in Vegas, and now with the Golden Knights, that they are able to have this new addition added to their agenda, their itinerary while they're in Vegas. I think it's awesome, right? Who they have a great fan base, the Golden Knights do. So I am super excited that they are definitely there. So Vegas won the first game. Thank you, Sherry. I appreciate that. Pop, thank you. I appreciate it. So I'm excited to see that they're there now. Sherry, you need to send me a message on Facebook. I'm curious to see the next time that you're going to be in Vegas because I'm hoping that it's going to be when we are there in July and that we can meet up because you are definitely my lucky charm. But I also miss seeing you. So there's that. Slot jumpers can't believe the Stars. I know Dallas Stars are out just like that, but that's okay. I'll be honest with you. I am not a big fan of any of the Dallas sports here. I like the Rangers, and that's pretty much it. I am a huge Kansas City fan. I am a huge Chicago fan. I love that. Watched the game yesterday. Vegas won 5-2 against Florida. Very cool. I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't even know Florida had a hockey game or hockey team. Just did not even know. Couldn't even see it. James Spitzer, cash out. Hi, April. Hello, everyone. Welcome in. I appreciate you coming in, James. We have had a great show. You'll have to go back and watch it. You'll be there the 16th through the 26th. So will we, Sherry. Okay. Send me a message on Facebook. Let's see if we can carve out some time. Perhaps you can join us for cocktail hour as well. I can give you those details depending on when you arrive on the 16th. But if you're just coming in, James, you missed a great episode. We went over Vegas history from the inception, so the late 1800s all the way through 1949. Part 2 is going to be more in depth of the 1950s and 60s and the mob and how they formed Vegas and what we know today and in Vegas. Lots of great rumors, lots of facts as well. So I can't wait to do that episode for you guys. But we are going to wrap up episode 17 for you guys. This has been probably one of my favorite ones thus far, giving you all the Vegas history. I appreciate all the love and support. Thank you for the super chats. That is awesome. Congratulations to those who were gifted memberships, and thank you for those that purchased memberships. This is an exciting time for our channel, and I'm so glad that you guys are here from the beginning of it. We can all grow together, and you can look back in a year or so and say, wow, I've been with them since the beginning, and I truly appreciate it. I love the support. Keep those questions coming to me. I get lots of independent questions via Facebook. If you have questions about travel to Vegas and you want to know some of the better places to stay, maybe some of the taboo places to go, definitely reach out to us. You can go to our About page on YouTube. You can send us an email. Our email address is there, and I'll be happy to answer any questions for you. Again, we are getting geared up to go to Vegas. So if there's something you want us to do while we're in Vegas, we can certainly try to fit that in. A couple of room reviews and a lot of local stuff coming as far as content this time around. But all right, guys. So we're going to wrap this up. I appreciate you joining us. So does Mike. I hope you're enjoying Mike Drinks with Mike. I think he's having a great time. I'm going to tell you, we probably did 10 takes on his video. It is so much fun to be role reversal and for me to be behind the camera. I am enjoying it and having a good time. Lots of bloopers. I am telling you, he needs to put together a blooper video for you because it will have you crying. It is so funny. But I hope everybody has a wonderful week. I hope you come back next Sunday as we continue to have episode 18 of Plugged In with April. Everybody go out there and have a great week. If you're going to be spinning and going to the hotels and casinos, I hope you have a great week. I hope it is a prosperous one for you. Everybody have a great night, and we will see you next Sunday. Thank you for joining us, and don't forget to hit that thumbs up button on your way out. Have a great week, everybody. See you later.
This has been a Mike and April Studio production.